Hi, I'm the Barefoot Backpacker, and as you might know, I do parkrun on a regular basis. What I'm going to do today is take you around my local parkrun course. I figured it's really going to be quite useful for a lot of you. As you can see, it begins with a Q, Queen's Park, and I know that there's a lot of parkrun tourists that like to tick off every single letter of the alphabet. What they don't know is what they've let themselves in for this one. It's a lovely sunny day in the start of October. Normally I'd do it barefoot, but today I'm not, for reasons that will become apparent later. But let's take a look and see what the course is like. Right, as you can see, it's quite a flat start. It's not that wide, but it's not that narrow. We'll see how we go. It's about 230 metres to the next junction. As you can see, it's quite a nice route, but after rain they get a lot of puddles just to have to wade through. So remember that this is the start, so there's going to be a lot of people coming as you turn this corner from one of the main gates on the north side of the park. Isn't it luscious? It reminds me of a kind of a big Victorian era thoroughfare. And this is why I'm not barefoot. Because you get a lot of tree fall in this, like leaves, but also, as you can see, conkers, horse chestnuts, and buds. And it's great in summer, but this time of year it's not good for bare feet. Anyway, let's carry onwards. Well, you'll notice that's a hill. Obviously it's quite a wide path, so by the time you get here there's plenty of space to expand, and it's only really bad on the first lap. After that you sort of get used to it, but after you've been sprinting for the first 200 odd metres, that can kill you. It's only about 170 metres. Now what you do here is you turn left and go up this little route, and this is the narrowest bit of the course, and as you can see it's a bit worn underfoot. Be wary if you're carrying, you know, if you've got a push chair or you're running barefoot. This is where you've got the potholes and the rough cracked cement. It's quite narrow, but again it's quite woody, it's quite nice. Let's see where it goes. It's only about 120 metres long, so it'll be fine. Okay, so now here the road turns right and then we swing into the worst bit of the course. It's very narrow and it's hillier than you expect. Again, you've got the rough underfoot. Oop. Again, you've got the rough underfoot surface that's quite cracked and broken. But what's the weird thing about this bit is that it's steeper than you imagine. It's much steeper than you imagine. It's only about 150 metres long. It's much steeper, and you can't see where you're going because of the bends. Now there's usually a few marshals up here to whirl you on your way, but you know, on lap 1 this killed you. Oop. Bypassing the dog. On lap 1 this killed you. On lap 2 you're raging at the marshals going, why am I doing this? And then when it comes to lap 3 you've just gone, oh, we're nearly home now. I can do this and I will die at the finish line. It really is very, very deceptive as to how steep this hill is. It's also, as I say, it's still the narrowest part of the course, but by this stage you shouldn't be around too many people. Maybe just sort of 3 or 4 of you hanging on each other's heel tails. So, there we go. So at this point you turn left and you're back onto a main path. In fact, if you look that way, That's the path that I said looked like a Victorian way. If you went up the stairs, you'd end up on this road. But anyway, this is quite a wide path. It's a council access road, so occasionally you have to be wary of council vehicles, vans and cars and whatnot coming at you, but they go really slowly, and they're also aware that we exist. Just out of observation, this is the Hlabia tree, which is to commemorate the Saddam Hussein's war crimes, which is, you know, not what you'd expect to see in a park in Glasgow. And then you have that tree, which was planted to commemorate the 25th anniversary of the UN. But you probably won't be noticing this, because at this point you'll be just head down, focused on where you're going. This is quite a wide path. In fact, it's as a whole, it's a very wide parkrun course. I've been around quite a few parkruns where it's all narrow all the way, but this is quite wide all the way, and it's like this all the way to the finish line now. So what I also like about this parkrun course is it's very varied. It's not just, you know, 3 laps around the perimeter of a park on a flat course looking at the road all the time. You've got trees, you've got open spaces, you've got hills, and it's quite interesting. Anyway. So, you turn the corner. I forgot to mention there's a couple of speed bumps, just watch out for those if you're in a pushchair. So you turn the corner, and you're faced with this. And you've got, it's about 250 metres, and it's 250 metres of solid uphill. We go to the flagpole at the top, which is, as far as I'm aware, the highest point in South Glasgow. Much of South Glasgow anyway is quite flat, so this park is kind of a bit in a weird place. But at this point, you know, you're close to the end of the first lap, and to be honest, this hill isn't quite as bad as you think it is. I personally think that second hill through the woods is much worse than this, because it's steeper and you can't see where you're going, and it's just more awkward, whereas this is quite, you can get used to this hill, but it is still a very big hill, and so be prepared for that. Well done. So now we've reached the top of the hill, and you can't actually see it because I'm in the wrong place, but over there is, there we go, the flagpole. So that marks the highest point of the course. So now you've just got a long, about 350 metres, basically downhill all the way. What you'll be able to see on the right, although not when you're running, are the views over central Glasgow, and you're looking north, so the hills in the background are heading up towards Loch Lomond. Now in the winter you can see the snow on them, and it's actually really pretty. Now this hill is, as I say, it's quite long. Just be careful, because we're back through the trees, and well, you'll be able to see what the ground's like. It's usually full of leaves at this time of year, and as you can tell, it's actually quite damp today. So just be very careful that when you're running this, you don't slip, because it's going to be very easy to lose your balance on this hill, especially if you're going quite quick. Anyway. Just to show you what I mean about the big hill and the views, let me look at that. That's quite a nice view of the city. And down there, we've got the parkrun volunteers just getting ready. On we go. Right, we're nearly at the finish line now, but this is the final bit of a problem. This is a very, 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 very sharp right turn, and then you've got that little bit of a dip down there that, if you're not careful, can really throw you out. For the record, that is church where the Post Parkrun Cafe is. So if we go down here, you can see we're back at the start, But now I just want to take you to where the finish line is. What you've got to be careful of, as you can see on this parkrun course, is mainly dog walkers, but also cyclists and the occasional rogue runner. So, as you can see, people are getting ready. So let's finish up and take you to the end. And that's the end there. So we've completed it, 3 laps of Queen's Park Parkrun. Hope this gives you a good sense of what the run is like and what to watch out for. As for me, I'm about to start it now, I guess. Everything's getting ready, so wish me luck. As you can see, we're about to start. So, on we go. Wish me luck. Speak to you later. And if you're feeling off colour, keep on getting better.